The number 1 ranked 2-time defending 2A state champion Thatcher Eagles began their quest for a three-peat Friday night against the number 16 North Pointe Prep Falcons, and we've got all the highlights, so let's get to it. The long night for the Falcons began on the opening kickoff as Edgar Villarreal mishandles the kick and then gets swallowed up at the 11 by Breton Dodge. Thatcher forced a 3-and-out, and on the ensuing punt, Dodge snatched the ball at the 45 and promptly took it right back to the house for the score. The Eagles were called for holding, however, which nullified the touchdown and brought them back to the Falcons' 34-yard line. A few plays later, Brock Jones took it in from the 14-yard line, and Thatcher was up 7-0. The next kickoff didn't fare any better for the Falcons, as Joe Soriana Garfias took it 4 yards to the 15, where he was smothered by a gang of Eagles led by Brick Skousen. After another 3-and-out, it was Quentin Turley's turn for a big punt return, as he takes it down the right side all the way to the 16-yard line. The yellow hanky came out again, however, and a holding call brought the ball back to midfield. A few plays later, quarterback Jack Courtson showed off his wheels as he followed his blockers along the left side for a nice 20-yard pickup. On the next play, Courtson wisely pitched it to Turley, who zipped 10 yards into the end zone to put Thatcher up 14-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Soriana Garfias must have thought the ball was headed out of bounds, but it died at the 10-yard line, and the live ball was recovered by Kyle O'Donnell, putting Thatcher right back into scoring position. The Eagles made the Falcons pay for the turnover, and Courtson skated into the end zone on the very next play to push the score to 21-0 still in the first quarter. Again, Thatcher's kickoff coverage was excellent, and that's Dodge down there putting the whooping on Villarreal at the 15. After a third consecutive 3-and-out, Dodge wrangles the punt at the 48 and takes it all the way back to the 24 for a nice 28-yard pickup, and the Eagles are knocking on the red zone again. 2 plays later, Dodge finished the drive with a 5-yard plunge into the end zone, and the Eagles were up 28-0. The Falcons still couldn't breach the 20 on the kickoff, as Skousen and Bryce sliced through to knock down Soriana Garfias at the 17. The Falcons had their best series of the night, however, and on 4th and short from the 50, the rugby-like scrum offense helped quarterback Juan Medina pick up the first down. On the very next play, however, Medina was called for intentional grounding as Cole Motes sacked him. The Falcons continued to move backward as Soriana Garfias is hit in the backfield. He eventually lost the ball, but the refs had already called the play dead. Facing 4th and 27, the Falcons chose to punt, and that may have been a bad choice, as Turley runs in between 2 defenders and then follows his wall of blockers along the left side 59 yards to the house to put Thatcher up 35-0 at halftime. Johnson Motors is proud to sponsor our local high school athletes. If you're in the game for a new ride, trust Johnson Motors for a great deal on a quality new or used vehicle. Shop our virtual showroom and then stop on by for a test drive. That's Johnson Motors in Safford. On the opening kickoff of the third quarter, Trevin Clark took it untouched 94 yards up the gut for the score. But the refs call some sort of penalty. I don't know what this means. Maybe Thatcher was too tough on its blocks, but I couldn't see any penalty. Nonetheless, this great run back was nullified again, and Thatcher had to settle for its drive starting on the 45-yard line, making it the first time the Eagles started in their own territory all night. It wouldn't last long. On the very next play, Courtson runs right by a defender who takes the pitchman without the ball, and nobody else is going to come close as Courtson takes it. Wait a minute. Let's back it up a little bit and look at this block by tight end Motes, locked up with his man down the field. That's how you do it. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, 55 yards to pay dirt to put Thatcher up 42-0 and start the Mercy running clock. After the Falcons turned it over on downs after 4 plays, Courtson flips it to Javon Montoya on the reverse, and Montoya does the rest, zipping 39 yards for the TD to put Thatcher up 49-0. Unable to run, the Falcons attempted to do a screen pass, and while this was clearly a lateral and recovery by the Eagles on replay, the refs appeared to take mercy on North Pointe Prep and called it an incomplete pass. The call didn't help much, and the Falcons were forced to punt, this time wisely putting the ball out of bounds. To start the fourth quarter, Courtson dropped back and threw an on-target pass to freshman Clinton Draper, who makes a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch at the 30 and takes it the rest of the way for a 58-yard TD to cap the scoring on the night at 56-0.
Clearly, Thatcher proved why they're the back-to-back state champions. They did a terrific job all night. They executed up front, and they really just pushed us off the ball. Our guys need to get tougher. You know, we don't have a lot of football players that are football players by trade in our program. 27 out of our 35 guys are only 1 to 2 years of playing football. We're only going to get better from here. I'm extremely proud of the progress that we've made to go from an 0-10 season 2 years ago to being 8-2 to being region champions. It's just a really big step forward for this program. First time in school history that we've been in the playoffs. First time in school history we've had a winning season. Extremely proud of these young men. They all have extremely bright futures, and we're only going to get better from here.
Well, we're taking them 1 week at a time. We wanted to come out and just play Thatcher football, do what we do, and you know, we put in a couple of things on defense, but you know, I felt like we could stop them with a regular defense, but we wanted to make a statement. We wanted to make a statement, you know, and show them that you know, we can play some football. That's what we did. We're just taking it 1 week at a time. Whatever it is that we got to play, we come up with the game plan and we just do it. You know, and I mean, you play who you got to play. You know, like I said, we're not afraid of anybody. Line it up and we play. So that's our mentality, 1 week at a time.
We got the pretty sure best linemen in the state, and just running behind them makes it real easy. And just punt returns, we have good special teams. As long as we prepare, I feel like we're good. Just hard work and conditioning, and it feels good. I like the goose egg. The linemen
always kisses. They always kiss.
They like me. We have that brotherhood.
The Eagles next face the Benson Bobcats in round 2, again at the confines of John T. Mickelson Field at EAC in Thatcher. Reporting from Thatcher for the Gila Herald, I'm John Johnson.